is that enemies to lovers? Like, did she do that? Is that what I'm reading? 2025, it is shaping up to be a very diverse and exciting year for romance books. According to Twitter or X or Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram, there are certain trends and predictions that we see, and I am here to bring to you some of my predictions for 2025 based on these trends, based on these social media trends. If this is something that you're into, if this is something that you would like, keep watching. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Let's get into some of my 2025 romance books predictions. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Giselle and I talk about romance books here. As part of the romance readers community, I also focus on interracial romances, particularly where the FMC is Black, in any type of diverse, in any type of interracial or multicultural romances. You can definitely find a variety of books on my channel. However, you'll notice that a lot of my videos are centered on interracial and multicultural relationship. And this is a growing or a continued trend that I predict in 2025. Given that we have continued to see a rise of books with more diversity, more books with people of color, more books with people or characters with different types of disabilities, whether it is seen disabilities or unseen disabilities. With a continued demand for books with characters with diversity, we have seen that authors, they are stepping up. They are delivering what the readers want, and we want diversity. So I see in 2025, authors are going to continue to give us what we want. We can see that in 2025, one of the biggest releases for this year is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. And last year we saw where there was a big debate whether or not Zayden is white or he's Black or whatever he is. This debate has definitely reached its peak. We see where he has tawny skin. So look at it. Look at this. One of the biggest release for this year in the book community is with a person of color. Something else that I see is more books with cultural diversity, not just in the aspect of the characters, but also in a way where the characters showcase their culture, they showcase their background. It is not something that is hidden. They're bringing it to the forefront, and it's something that we, the readers, can experience. Authors realize that readers want a fresh look at characters. We don't want the same whitewash things. We want our characters to showcase their culture. We want to see their experience. We want to experience their experience. We want to see our experience in what they are experiencing, and they're doing it. Authors, I would stress particularly indie authors, they are doing it. If you don't read books by indie authors, this is my encouragement to you to go pick up a book by indie authors. We see where authors, they are diving into mental health issues. They are giving us books with more emotional depth. Nothing is just surface level. They grab you and you feel for that character. They give you an understanding of mental illness and the emotional depth and what these characters go through. Again, nothing is surface level with these characters. And I can see in 2025, authors are going to continue to deliver this because why? It is what we want. We want to be able to emotionally connect to these characters. And so in order to do this, they need to dive deeper. They need to dig deeper. They need to have a more broad understanding of what characters with mental illness would experience. And so they are delivering this to us. I can attest to this. In 2024, I read a few books, and these books were so emotionally grabbing. There was so much emotional depth. I bawled my eyes out. The way in which the author wrote their book, I can clearly see they researched mental health. They researched addiction. They researched the experiences of people going through something so hard, so difficult, and they were able to write a story around that. They were able to put that in such a way, in a package, that once a reader opened their book, we would experience everything that character was experiencing. And in addition to that, I can see where the books that we're going to get, it will have more relatable relationships. I can see that happening in 2025. My third point is, and you should not be surprised at all, we are going to see an increase in audiobooks. Yes, and I can attest to this. I have seen where more people are coming to my pages and they're asking for audiobook recommendation. Based on Book Talk, Bookstagram, and X, we see where more readers want audiobooks. And we see where authors, they understand that their readers want audiobooks and are demanding audiobooks. So I can see where there's definitely going to be an increase in audiobooks. What I personally would like to see is more diverse audiobooks. There are not a lot of audiobooks in Black romances or interracial romances. There are not a lot. They aren't. And I understand it is very costly to produce an audiobook, but this is what the readers want. And readers, they are willing to spend the money on what they want. So I can see where there's going to be a definite increase in the demand for audiobooks. If you agree with me, put your comments below. Audiobooks bring the stories alive. They add so much depth and wonder to the books. You become so engrossed and in tune with the characters. It has you transfixed. Something that I think is going to happen in 2025 is a lot of the classic tropes that we enjoy in the romance genre, they are going to be reimagined. Authors are going to put a fresh perspective on these tropes. How many times can you write a story using the same trope? Okay, we're in 2025, so I see where authors, they are going to do something a bit different. For instance, with the enemy to lovers trope. Who doesn't like that trope? Okay, who don't enjoy a good enemies to lovers? Now, they are going to have to put a new twist on it. They're going to be tackling this particular trope in such a way that is going to have readers like wondering, like, is that enemies to lovers? Like, did she do that? Is that what I'm reading? They are going to have us questioning what we are reading. And something that I can definitely see happening is where they blend some of these tropes with social justice issues. That would be, yeah. Can you all imagine that? Enemies to lovers with a social justice twist, right? We can't keep getting the same old. So I believe in 2025, or I predict in 2025, this is what we're going to be getting. Because authors understand that readers are consuming way more. With the growth of book talk, being a writer, it is way more competitive. And if you want to stand out, you have to put something special in your book. You can't just write the same thing and expect it to do well, right? For instance, take Fourth Wing, that entire series. Like, it had that social justice piece in it, right? We also had that enemies to lovers in it, but it was done in such a way where it had us all grasping for it. It had us all reaching for the book. Okay? And no, the physical copy is here, but I also have the audiobook. With the impact that book talk has on the reading community as a whole, let's be honest, book talk has made a name and has definitely made footprints into the reading community, into the book community. And so we saw where books that were popular on book talk got adapted into movies. So I predict that we are going to see another massive book talk book be turned into a movie. It's going to be adapted into a movie. Which book? Who knows? Maybe it can be Icebreaker. That was a big hit. The Twisted Love series by Anna Wong, that could be adapted. Even the Dreamland Billionaire. We saw several announcements by authors or publishers where the books were being adapted into movies, and honestly, I think one of these big book talk hits is going to be turned into a movie. Just wait and see. Yeah, just wait and see. One of them, they're going to be turned into a movie. We already know that Fourth Wing, okay, that entire series, we know that is going to be made into a movie. We had Colleen Hoover, I think, where is it? It Ends With Us. That was made into a movie. We also have Kennedy Ryan, Before I Let Go. That is in the works to becoming a movie. And all of these books were big book talk hits. So you tell me, which popular book talk book do you think is going to be turned or adapted into a movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you are a romance reader, then you know we love our romance tropes. Now, I predict there are certain romance tropes or subgenre of romances that is going to be huge in 2025. First of all, I think fantasy and dark romances, they are going to continue to thrive in 2025. Who doesn't love a good small town romance? That's going to blow up even more. Also, age gap. A few of the popular books on book talk are age gap. Okay? Are age gap romances. For all we know, one of these could be turning into a movie in 2025. And you're wondering, Giselle, but age gap romances, yes. If you want to know why it is growing, it is due to social expectations and the power and emotional vulnerability that we see in the couples. And on top of that, this particular trope, it explores self-discovery. Think about that age gap, right? Someone is going to be exploring something, right? So you have that layer of self-discovery as well as personal transformation happening. If you have read a well-written age gap romance, it's not just the age, but if you look at how that person was at the beginning and how they are at the end, it's almost two different persons, because they go through a growth, they go through a process, understanding who they really are. I think also in 2025 we're going to see a re-emergence of slow burns, and I can tell you I have already read one for this year. I think this is going to appeal to more readers because we want to see the growth of the characters. We want to feel that tension between the characters, and we want that emotional depth between the characters, which a slow burn romance allows. It's like the foundation, right? It allows this to take place. And my final prediction when it comes to tropes within the romance genre or subgenre is sports romance with empowered female leads. And this is because there's a growing trend with women wanting more independence. Now, it's not new. However, the way in which things have been happening, the different discourse that are happening with respect to women and women's rights and women's independence, I feel where within the sporting arena, we are going to have more females in sports romance, and they're going to be the ones taking charge. So, and there you have it. These are my predictions, my 2025 romance books predictions as it pertains to trends, as it pertains to tropes and subgenres of romances. I think this is exciting for the bookish community in that we are moving forward. We are not just where we were last year, where things have been in the past. I see where authors are trying new things. They are embracing what is happening around us. They are including, yes, pop culture, but in a way where it adds a twist to something that is classic or to something that's traditional. Let me know what are your thoughts or what are your predictions for romance books in 2025. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, subscribe. See you in the next video.